In the United States, rent, insurance, mortgage, and property taxes no longer depend only on income. In Florida, they depend on risk. And for thousands of middle-class families, that equation has already stopped working. What looks like a population boom is quietly becoming a financial exit. Because the most important number in Florida, housing right now, is not the home price. It's the monthly survival cost. And that number is changing faster than most residents can move. Across the country, the housing system is under pressure. Interest rates reset the cost of borrowing. Insurance companies retreat from high-risk regions. Property taxes adjust to inflated home values. HOA fees rise to cover rebuilding reserves. But Florida is where all of these forces collide at the same time. For years, it represented the middle-class migration dream. Lower taxes, warmer weather, retirement security, remote work affordability. Now it represents something else. A real-time stress test for the American middle-class housing model. And what is happening here is not loud. It is administrative. It is contractual. It is monthly, which is why it is happening quietly. The first signal is not home prices. It is rent stability, or the loss of it. New leases are no longer predictable. Renewals arrive with numbers that don't match salary growth. Landlords are passing through insurance increases, not because they want to, but because they have to. A middle-class household that moved in at a manageable payment is now facing a different structure. Higher base rent, mandatory insurance add-ons, parking fees, utility repricing. This is not a spike. It is a permanent recalculation. And it turns a two-income household into a single point of failure system. The most powerful force in Florida housing is no longer the mortgage. It is insurance. Policies are being rewritten. Deductibles are expanding. Coverage is shrinking. Some carriers leave the state entirely. Others stay, but at a price that changes the entire housing equation. Because insurance is not optional. It is required by lenders, required by HOAs, required for basic financial protection, which means one letter in the mail can increase the monthly cost of living more than a promotion can offset. Property values went up. That was the headline. But property taxes followed. HOAs, once viewed as minor fees, are now funding structural reserves, storm hardening, and insurance gaps. Special assessments are appearing in communities that were marketed as stable. For middle-class owners, this creates a new reality. The home is affordable. The ownership is not. And selling does not always solve it, because buyers are calculating the same monthly risk. They are not the wealthy. They are not the very poor. They are the middle layer that made Florida function. Dual-income professional households, pre-retirees, fixed-income homeowners, remote workers who arrived during the migration wave. They are leaving for one reason: predictability. Not lower home prices, not better weather, monthly stability. They are moving to places where insurance is boring, taxes are slow, HOAs are quiet, where the cost of staying does not change every renewal cycle. The signs are subtle. More long-distance moving trucks, shorter school enrollment lists, homes listed, then quietly removed. Neighbors who relocated for work, even when they didn't. Local businesses begin adjusting hours. Medical practices see more records transferred out of state. This is not a crash. It is a thinning. And thinning changes a housing market long before prices do. The traditional housing model assumed stable insurance, plus predictable taxes, plus fixed mortgage, equals long-term affordability. Florida broke that formula. Now the variable cost of ownership is larger than the fixed cost, which means the risk is no longer in buying the home. It is in keeping it. This creates a new behavior. Middle-class families are leaving before the financial stress becomes visible on paper, before the missed payment, before the forced sale, before the downgrade. They are exiting early. This is not just a Florida story. Insurance companies are studying exposure across multiple states. Lenders are adjusting requirements. Developers are repricing future projects. Because Florida is showing what happens when climate risk, financial structure, and migration demand collide in one market. And the middle class, the most rate-sensitive group, moves first. The next phase is not about home prices. It is about eligibility. Who qualifies for coverage? Who qualifies for financing? Who qualifies for HOA approval? As rebuilding costs rise and risk models update, the definition of affordable changes again. Not everyone will be able to re-enter the market they just left. And for those who stay, the exposure increases. Older roofs, higher deductibles, limited carrier options, a system that becomes more expensive the longer you remain inside it. Florida is not emptying. It is resorting. Higher income households can absorb volatility. Lower income households were already renting. The group in between, the traditional American middle class, requires stability to function. And stability is becoming the rarest feature in the market. On paper, Florida is still growing. Construction continues. Migration headlines remain positive. Home prices have not collapsed. But the definition of affordable living is being rewritten month by month. Not in real estate listings, in insurance renewals, in tax notices, in HOA reserve studies. And the families who understand the math are not making announcements. They are forwarding their mail. Because the most important shift in the American housing story is no longer where people are moving to. It's where the middle class no longer feels safe staying. And by the time that becomes visible in the data, the relocation will already be complete.